Hello everyone, this is Unit 4, which is entitled Shall We Go Out for Dinner? In this unit, you will study several topics again. Starting with the first one, you have to know about some vocabularies about food, like what? Like fish and chips, mushroom soup, curry, ginger, coriander, rice noodles, egg, beef, tomatoes, coconut milk, lime leaves, chicken curry parcel, fish sauce, lemongrass, mushroom starter, main course, and dessert. The second slide, which is slide number 3, you have extra, let's say, vocabularies or expressions about food, like what? Sweet, vegetable stir fry, mild dish, strong flavor, tasty, full of flavor, quite spicy, really sweet, delicious, dry new dishes, tofu and onion, seafood and rice, broccoli and ginger, vanilla and cream, lamb and peppers, shish kebab, spaghetti, beef stir fry, appetizers, and finally we have sample the new cuisine. Sample the new cuisine what? Which means what? Which means try in new dishes. And instead of saying try, I say sample the new cuisine. I just take a sample of something just to try it. New cuisine, which means new dishes, new kitchens, from new kitchens. In slide number 4, this is the second topic that you have to know in Unit 4. So first of all, you have some vocabularies about food. Second, you have to know how to make suggestions. We have 5 different ways. Either you can use what? The verb shall we go out for dinner? What about visiting our cousin? Here, after the phrase what about, okay, you have to use what? Verb plus ing. Remember this. And don't forget the question. Some of these, let's say, ways of making suggestions, some of them are put in the form of a questions, and other are what? Are just merely sentences. So, as I told you, we have 5 different ways. Shall we go out for dinner? What about visiting a cousin or traveling bro? We could try that for a change, so we can use the verb could. I've got an idea. Let's travel to, let's say, Germany or to any other place, to Turkey. So I've got an idea. So when you use this phrase or this expression, you have to give me, not only say I've got a new idea. What is it? You have to tell me about that idea. So let's travel. Let's study hard. Okay, let's prepare for the test. Whatever. Let's try that again. So either use the verb shall, or the phrase what about, or the verb could, or I've got an idea, this is an expression, or you use the verb let. Okay, so we have 5 different ways in order to make what? Suggestions. The third topic that you have to know in this unit is what? How to tell people what you ate. Of course, we have steps. Usually we start, if you say for instance, usually we start with the name of the dish, and then the type of the dish, whether it is a starter or a main course. Then we have the ingredients, then you give your opinion. Sometimes we rearrange these. So let's say for instance, yesterday I ate something very, let's say, delicious. You started from your opinion. It consists of this and this, which means what you are talking about, the ingredient. It is really it was let's say you say it was something main. It's a main course or a starter. And then you mention the name. But usually, logically, we start with the name, with the type of the dish, ingredients, and opinion. You can change the one of the sequences by going up or down, but you have, let's say, to give me what? A logical answer. Okay, here we have some points from slide 6, I guess, to slide number 10. We have some, let's say, points to be discussed. Which is all these points revolve around what? Food. Here we have what? What's your favorite food? You say my favorite food, for instance, is chicken curry parcel, or let's say you can say, let's say, dolma. You can say whatever types, let's say, name of a dish that comes to your mind. Or the second question, are you a good cook? If you have, let's say, yes no questions, do not answer me with yes by saying yes I am a good cook, or yes I am, or saying no. If you are a good cook, or if you have such a question, try to answer by saying yes and give me a full answer. Yes, I'm a good cook regarding what? Regarding, let's say, cooking, let's say, desserts, main courses, or you say yes I am. Okay, you can say yes I am. I can cook several types of dishes, whether starters, appetizers, okay, main dishes, sweets, whatever. Do you prefer restaurants or takeaway? Such a question, you say, for instance, I prefer both of them, and the choice depends on my mood, on my time. If I feel tired and I cannot cook at home, I can go out, or let's say sometimes I wanted to take something, let's say takeaways, take something ready, but I prefer to eat it at home to feel more relaxed. So any question you can answer it the way you like, but I want you to be realistic, logical. Okay, and don't answer yes or yes or no, or you say I prefer restaurants, or I prefer takeaways, or yes I am this, no I am not that. Okay, I want you to be somehow realistic. Everything in life is what is good and bad at the same time. Even let's say you can say, for instance, not all healthy food are healthy, but still you have what sometimes because it represents, let's say, or creates routine. If you stick to one diet, there is something, let's say, negative points, negative consequences. Okay, what do you usually eat for breakfast? Again, this question depends on you. For me, I prefer to eat something very, let's say, heavy, because I have, let's say, lots of work to do. Okay, so I need much more energy. Have you tried food from other countries? Again, this depends on your experience. If you haven't tried, if you haven't sampled anything, you shouldn't say no I haven't and full stop. You say no I haven't, but I'd like to, or let's say I can simply talk about, let's say, your experiences, things that you observed, not necessarily tried. Do you prefer to eat out? Okay, this one again depends on you. You can say yes, you can say no. Say not all the time. It depends again on your timetable, on your mood, psychological status. Okay, and sometimes depends on the company as well. You prefer to go out, but the company is not encouraging. That's why you prefer to stay at home. Why don't you like that restaurant? If you say, for instance, if I ask you, do you like that restaurant? Don't tell me yes or no. If you say yes, you have to give me a reason, and if you say no, you have to give me again reason. So you say, I don't like that restaurant because it's always crowded, because the services are so slow. The waitress are not responding quickly. The taste is not that delicious. Okay, or maybe there is a bad smell or whatever. In slide number 7, again we have extra questions. When did you last go to a restaurant? You say, for instance, it was only, let's say, 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, before having Corona, because Corona has already, paralyzed all types of life. What type of restaurant was it? You say it was popular, it was crowded, it was a VIP restaurant, whatever. Do you have a dessert? What was it? Do you have a starter? What was it? What did you eat for the main course? What was it made with? All these 3 or 4 questions. Okay, you have to tell me. For instance, for a dessert, I ordered this and that. For a main course, I ordered, or I asked for what? For, let's say, chicken, for kebab, for whatever let's say dish that comes to your mind. Yes, what was it made with? Here you have to talk about what the ingredients. Did you enjoy it? I told you the verb did is what is a transitive verb. So don't say did you enjoy it? And here you say yes I did, because the company was really, let's say, lovely. Or because, let's say, the restaurant was so, let's say, relaxing. The service was more than okay. You have to give me reasons. Don't say yes or no. In slide number 8, are you a fussy eater? As I told you, the word fussy means picky, choosy. Sometimes we have very complicated persons. They do not eat anything. They have to ask about the dish, the ingredients, and everything before they try it. So are you such a kind of a person? If you are a fussy eater, you have to say yes I am, because usually you have to give me reasons why you are so. Okay, or if you are not, you say no I'm not. I am not such a kind of person, but I like to eat everything, anything. Okay, nothing specific in my mind. Which national dish from your country would you recommend? If you have a friend from another country, and he asks you about, let's say, a specific dish, what is that popular in your country? What do you suggest for him? Again, such a question depends on you and your taste. How was your taste in food change over time? I will give you a very, let's say, realistic, let's say, example, part of my, let's say, life. When I was a child, I didn't like torshani at all. but within the passage of time, I started to like this dish, because when I was child I didn't like to have sweet sour something for a main course. Okay, but now it's okay with me, so it means that my taste has already changed over time. What was the last meal you cooked? Don't say I do not cook. You say I try to say something. You say the last meal, for instance, I was my breakfast. I prepared some, let's say, tomato on an egg, or a potato on egg, or let's say some cheese with cheese or something. Okay, whatever that comes to your mind, and it depends on the things that you like. Is anyone in your family vegetarian? Because sometimes we have people who do not like to eat meat or any of the animal products. So if some of your family member is vegetarian, you say yes. If no, you say no. All of them prefer to eat all types of food and all types of animal products. There is nothing specific. Do you care where the food you eat comes from? As far as I'm concerned, yes, we have to care, especially after Corona. We have to make sure that the food is not Chinese. Otherwise, we will get inflicted with so many, let's say, diseases far be it from us. What do you think of genetically modified food? You say genetically modified food is something good, because it means that all the good things are available. But to have natural things, I think is better, is okay, and better than to have it genetically modified, because we don't know, maybe there are something organic, something chemical, something, and all of these things will affect our hormones. Okay, so natural food, I think, is better than genetically modified. What are your guilty pleasures? The phrase guilty pleasures here means what? Things that you like to do, okay, or like to eat, but you consider you feel embarrassed if you talk about them. For instance, we have some of the, let's say, most of the females do not like bacha in Iraq, but maybe some of them like to eat bacha from the early morning. Okay, bacha for them represent guilty pleasures. For instance, they like to eat it from the early morning, but they do not like to say this, to share this piece of information with us. They feel embarrassed. That's why it's considered what? Guilty pleasures. You like to eat something, or you like to do something, but you don't like to tell others that you are doing so. Okay, so you like it, pleasure. This dish, this, let's say, action, this thing represents something pleasure. It brings pleasure for you, but guilty because you don't want to share it with others. You feel embarrassed. What's your perfect breakfast? Again, it depends on you. Some of them like to eat something very light, others very, let's say, heavy, etc. Have you ever worked in a restaurant? Of course you will say no, I don't have such an experience, but I don't want you to answer me in yes no question. Say no, I haven't been there, but I have some, let's say, experiences out of my friends or out of my observations. Okay, working in a restaurant is something, let's say, interesting, but it is tiring at the same time. Have you ever eaten in a very expensive restaurant? If it is yes, you say yes, I tried it. It was really amazing. I felt I was one of the VIP, let's say, people. Or maybe you say no, I didn't try, but I have such an idea in my mind, and I will do it, inshallah. Or maybe no, I don't like it, and it's not, let's say, one of my interests. But because I don't want to waste my time, okay, to buy something or to eat something which I can buy it or eat it very, let's say, cheap in any other restaurants. How healthy is your diet? Okay, it depends on you. Of course, such a question depends on you. Maybe you say I'm not 100% diet. You say I 50-50. Sometimes I like to eat something healthy, other times no, I like to violate. Okay, not all the time I have discipline. Sometimes we have days for enjoyment, to enjoy all types of food. How often do you eat out? Here it depends on your timetable, on your mood, on your, let's say, other things, if you have other commitments. Okay, so I like to eat out, but not always. It depends on my, let's say, time, depends on my mood, it depends on psychological status, and it depends on my commitments. If I have, let's say, work or an exam or whatever, I prefer to invest the time eating at home. What's your favorite restaurant? There is nothing specific, but I like the restaurant to be cheap, okay, clean, and relaxing at the same time. and you can give any other, let's say, reasons for that. Slide number 10. Again, here we have what? How often do you get takeaway food? You say I maybe once a week, maybe twice, maybe it depends, not necessarily. I usually prefer to eat homemade food than to have takeaway, but only when I feel the certain circumstances I take, let's say, takeaway food. So maybe, let's say, once a month, once a week, whatever. Again, such a question depends on you. How much do you usually tip? Tipping in Iraq, I don't know whether it is popular or not, but again, for me, it depends on the type of people and on the type of situation. Some of the people, especially the rich ones, they do not care about paying money, so say they tip any person. Others are rich again, but they do not like to tip. Sometimes in certain situations you like to tip for the purpose of what? Of helping others. For instance, I don't like to tip, but if I see that person really needs that, I will do it from the bottom of my heart. So it depends on the situation, and it depends on the type of people as well. Do you prefer home cooked food or restaurant food, and why? Personally, I prefer both. But again, I prefer, say, have home cooked more than, let's say, restaurant food, because it's cleaner, it's cheaper. Okay, and again, you can you can enjoy it. You can feel relaxed at home. Some of the students might say no, I feel relaxed if I eat in a restaurant. So again, such a question, and depends on you. Do you usually have a starter and a dessert? I'm talking about myself. Speaking of me, if I eat a dessert or eat a starter, sometimes I can't, let's say, ask for a main course, either this or that. So it depends on the person himself or herself. When you eat in a restaurant, do you try something new or something you like? Actually, I told you such a question is best be answered by Professor Jinan, because Professor Jinan likes to eat new dishes. Okay, whenever we go out, she prefers to order something new. For me, if I want to order something new, I have to ask about the ingredients, because I don't want to be shocked by the test later on. Okay. And finally, we have the list of references, and thank you very much for listening and watching my movie. Okay, thank you.